Oh, excuse me. I need a soda. So now I'm all burpy. Okay.
Soda.
All right.
Did you ever see that Reddit? I'm so sorry. Did you ever see that Reddit thread where a guy got a girlfriend because he was smiling at a random meme, and the girl thought that she was like flirting with him or whatever?
Oh my god, I did not see this.
And then someone was like, well, you got to post the meme, and it was the Obama soda meme.
That's like, sorry, there was something I saw once where I think like they had gone, I don't know, it was like this younger woman, and they had gone to like meet her girlfriend like with her uncle or something, and they were like riding the train home together, and she was like looking at her phone and smiling, and her uncle was like, oh, it's so nice to see you so in love, you know, thinking she was like looking at a picture of her girlfriend, and she was looking at a picture of Scrappy Doo in a lobster costume.
That's so good.
Yeah. All right. I will actually lead us in now. And you can put this wherever, I guess. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Safe Room, a survival horror game club podcast. I'm Grace, and with me is Rose.
The force field is preventing me from recording.
Whoa, there's this door with all these weird symbols on it. You know?
I truly love whenever a game goes, not as a force field, you can't go here.
Yeah, I love it. It's the funniest when like a character goes just like, I'm getting the feeling that I'm not supposed to go this way.
And you're just like, why? And the game is like, no, just don't. Just don't go there.
Yeah. You will not go to the room where Naomi's watching that videotape. You know?
No, you won't.
Yeah, we played Corpse Party.
We sure did.
Which is, well, this game is quite a convoluted history. It was originally a mobile phone game, which was never finished.
This was originally a PC 98 game.
Oh my god, you're so right. And then
which was like not officially translated.
Right.
And then it was like remade into a PC game. And then that PC version became the base for the PSP port, which is like the first English release.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that is the basis also of the iOS version and the 3DS version. And then in 2021, they put out a version for all consoles and PC that is the game again, but also remade in Unity, and it has everything in it, except for some weird minor things that I'll shout out as we keep going. But
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a million different versions of this fucking game.
Yeah, when it's also like because is it like the very first version of RPG Maker was the thing that this was originally made on?
I'm not sure, but that sounds
Yeah.
right to me.
Yeah, that's what it's saying on the Corpse Party wiki.
Okay.
You know, spring.
That would make sense.
You know what? Okay, also, it was made by a 22-year-old college student. That explains a lot about this video game.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, and that makes, yeah, everything is clear to me now.
I guess. The problem is like the other versions had to have been written when he was slightly older.
Right. You know, that's true.
Because the story in the PC 98 version has elements from this remake that we played, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So we're playing a remake of a game that we can't play.
Right.
That does have... There's some sort of fan translation, I believe, but not for the PC 98 version.
No. There's also like
one of the other PC versions.
Yeah, there's also like a fan remake. A friend was telling me about this.
Yes,
that has been translated. Yeah. So this is
what I
also
was
the thing
thinking
is there's like a huge amount of like, you know, fan material, fan games like this. And it immediately like I think the game invites this kind of thing through the premise, right? There's like you could just tell stories about the hell dimension in Corpse Party forever, right?
Yeah.
And
they will.
And they will. Yeah.
I jumped through 3 different versions of this game.
Yeah.
I played the PSP version for a little bit. I played the DS, the 3DS version a little bit. And then I finished it on the Switch.
Whoa. Whoa. So I know I bought like the remake, which I think came with the code for the like 2016 PC version with it. And then I was like, I'll play the earlier one. So I played the earlier one. Yeah. So I'm trying to, should we talk about like basic plot of this game? And then I have some like thoughts about format, you know?
Yeah.
So basically this is about a bunch of students. One of them, Mayu Susamoto, is transferring to a new high school. And they decide, one of them, Ayumi, decides to do a little ritual, which is like tearing up a paper doll and like saying these words, you know, to ensure that everyone lives happily ever after and like remains bonded as friends, even though they're like moving apart from each other. And instead it like transports them all to like various pocket dimensions that are like the projections of the murdered children of Heavenly Host Elementary School. And the game is basically them like trying to figure out how to make their way back home and exploring the like decimated corpse-ridden ruins of this elementary school and discovering like all the dozens of children and teenagers and young adults who have been like transported to this dimension and killed variously or killing each other. And that's basically like basic premise. A bunch of them die, they get out at the end, but the hell dimension remains. And that's like the broadest level plot stuff possible.
Mm-hmm.
Literally within the first 30 minutes of this game, you pick up a plank and use it to cross a gap. And I was like, oh, Sweet Home.
This is Sweet Home. Yeah. No, me too.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
The fact that you like have these different parties and you're like picking up these things and with the plank and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Sweet Home to me. There's also like at the very last chapter, they introduced the mechanic of switching between parties.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Which was, Sweet Home yet again.
Yeah, no. Well, it has the like, yeah, because it's very much like there's kind of the nitty gritty mechanics level stuff of Sweet Home, which is like the permadeath, the like, the RPG battles, right? And this doesn't have any of that. It's way more narrative focused. It's visual novel heavy. And it has sort of the like, you are exploring one continuous space, right? That kind of changes as you interact with it. And you do puzzles to like make the environment change, which is like the origin point of survival horror, right? And this like feels like such a immediate continuation of like what Sweet Home is up to, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the original version can't be that long after, right? 1996. Is Sweet Home like 89? So it's like 7 years later?
I think so.
Let me look. Oh. Sweet Home Chicago.
Yeah, you're right. 89.
89. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So it's like, it makes sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But this feels very survival horror in that the parts where there is gameplay, it's often running from a ghost.
Yes, true. Yeah. It has the thing of like...
And it has the puzzle solving stuff of like you're collecting items to unlock a thing that unlocks a door that previously was locked. And then you're also just avoiding getting killed.
Yeah, and it's also like you have to remember where things are in relationship to each other. And like the part of the game is about building this like spatial awareness of especially like over each episode, right? It's like you develop this sense of how the building works. And there's like puzzles where it's like, go back to where this happened, and then walk like this many steps left, this many steps right. And so it's like the game's asking you to like pay attention to the way it presents the space and then like quizzes you on it, basically.
Yeah. There's also this aspect too of like repeat playthroughs to like unlock different endings and stuff.
Yeah.
So this game is just chock full of just like bad endings, where you either like intentionally get killed by a ghost that's chasing you, or like you skip an item that was required for like the true ending and fall into like an alternate route in that particular chapter.
Yeah.
And so it encourages repeat playthroughs that way. So that just adding on to like the way that kind of the puzzles interact with kind of the structure of the game.
Yeah, I think there is a level of like dying, either like you die and you're like, okay, I need to not do that next time so I don't die. Or it's like you don't die and you're like, oh, I could have died there. So I'll like have a save where I can go back to that section and like see the wrong end that comes as a result of that, right? I think it's also like the thing with the wrong ends. Well, some of them are like very short, and some of them are like quite extensive.
Some of them are like nothing, and then there's one in particular, like that is so gnarly that I'm just like, why? What? Who hurt this person?
Yeah.
Who hurt the person writing this?
Why it is like I think this game is like, I don't, maybe impressively is not the right word. It is kind of nasty.
Like, this game is fucking gross.
Yeah. Like because it's just like literally everything about this dimension is like so horrifying, right? Like it's like so many people have died here before, and then all of them are like trapped in a state of like continual suffering. There's like multiple ghosts that are like, oh yeah, like I'm feeling the pain that I experienced at the moment of my death. over and over again. And then it's like you find a corpse that has like a journal next to it and is like, because it's also like there's no running water, there's no food, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like people are starving to death, people are like killing each other out of desperation, people are like eating each other. There's like every possible like extreme survival worst case scenario is like happening to the children that are in this space, right? And so it's like the game is really like super despair mode, you know. And then it also has the like thing of like, we're all best friends and like we're gonna try and make it through, guys. You know.
Yeah.
And that's like, yeah, that's just like the total element of the game is like the juxtaposition between this, like, I think in some ways not particularly successful, but I think very sincere kind of like stories about friends, people being friends and trying to do right by each other. And then also the like just extreme horrifying quality of like what they are going through collectively.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I guess like content warning for everything.
Yeah, literally everything.
It has everything in it.
Yeah, well, because that's also like so basically like as you get further into the game, and I think we'll talk a little bit about like the different party members and stuff. But the like, you know, you find out more about the murders, and it's like these the son of the principal of this elementary school was like arrested for murdering 3 children, and like there's one survivor who's like a young girl named Sajiko. The ghosts of these children are like running around. There's also like the ghost of this older man. And the thing is also this older man was like mentally disabled in some way. Like is also part of it is he was like getting older, right? And so he was becoming like less verbal, having trouble talking, but was always like really kind-hearted and sweet. And so it was like very shocking to everybody that he did this, but there's also this sort of like, well, like he was so mentally unwell, like, you know. But then it turns out that actually like it is the surviving child who killed all the children and was like possessing or like using the principal's son to like carry out the kidnapping so that she could murder them. And this child is like the spirit of the school nurse's kid, whom the school nurse was raped and murdered by the principal, who also killed her daughter Sajiko. And then like their spirits like stayed in the school and were haunting it, but like couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. And so Sajiko like began killing children to like bring them into the dimension to like give her mom company. And they both their spirits like go insane through this like process of like death and suffering to like try and provoke connection, which doesn't work. And then just like continues indefinitely. Right.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, I guess I knew that because like the fucking art on Steam for this game is like this girl like looming over all the characters, you know? So I was like, surely something's up with this lady, right? And I do think the sequence where like Ayumi is like the one who suggests they do the tearing apart the paper doll, and she's like into the occult, into like, you know, tarot and witchy stuff and like doing those kinds of things, right? And she's also the one who like has this sense, she has like medium kind of abilities and is like sensitive to the ghost realm in the way like other characters aren't. And so there's a scene basically where she like gets one of the ghost children to like stop being evil and sadistic and like turn into like an innocent girl again. And the girl like gives her a vision of what occurred to her when she was murdered in the basement of the school. And she like sees, you know, the like young girl Sejiko like gleefully murdering everyone. I think that is like, because it's played as a twist and it's not entirely unexpected, but it's like, fuck, it kind of hits, right? That like they're like in this basement, there's this scary adult man in there, and then when like she's finally like her blindfold is taken off and she's about to be murdered, there's just like a girl her own age with scissors standing over her like smiling. And that shit's scary, right? Like that hits, I think. That was a lot of information. What are your feelings? What's sort of your opinion here?
This game is so edgy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yes.
Because like you have just the baseline, these kids are in this like horrifically violent situation. But then you have this like, so the game is very much about sexual assault.
Yeah.
And so all that stuff. But then also, and you didn't play the version that had the CG images in it.
No, I did not.
And I also showed Almer on Handheld Talk some of the images, but a lot of sexualization of the children in this video game.
Yeah.
As everybody's boobs are like super massive.
Well, there's that scene where there's like the earthquake when the dimensions are converging, and like he like grabs her boob on accident, and I was like, what is happening? Like, why are we doing this right now? They're like starving and dying. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Okay, so and I do have to show you the CGs because you do also have to suffer with me.
Yeah.
That scene, and I wonder if this is the same like translation.
Mm-hmm.
Just jumping into the end where, is it Seiko who is the one that is killed and like is sending the phone messages to her friend who realized that basically her friend she realized that she was possessed into killing her friend that they had an argument with before that, like she discovered her body when she became like conscious again, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In like the whole game she's like, you know, if only we didn't have that argument, you know, she wouldn't have decided to take her own life, whatever. And then it's a big reveal that, like, you know, I killed her because this game has to do the edgiest shit imaginable at all times.
Yeah. But then it has the like thing of her like repeatedly sending the text simping like, no, I don't blame you, and like, the healing happens.
It turns into like a just like classic like feel good friend story where it's just like, you know, between life and death, like across the boundaries of life and death, the friendship lives on, even though this horrific stuff's happening. But it's very funny to me because, and I don't have the exact text in front of me, but that like phone message is basically like, hey, all good, like that argument we had, it's all good, definitely gonna see that ass later. Can't wait to see your sexy body
the like weird lesbian thing, because also it's like
bro,
the part, because I think it's literally like DAT ass makes me drool.
Yes!
It's like the first thing.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, that's such a like 2000s era translation thing to phrase it that way, right? Yes. So I was like bugging a little bit.
Yeah. So there's that too, paired with the CG that's like, it's criminal. I'm trying to find an example. But then there's like that scene. One of the things this also does is like there's like a little girl character, and she has to pee the entire time.
Oh my god. Yeah, the whole like 10 hours of the game, she needs to pee.
But then like there's that scene where like she basically is attacked and is forced to, like, her body just like everything that she was holding in comes out in like
right,
this, like,
yeah.
And it's just like, we don't need this. Do we need this? Like, I get it, but like, come on.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. It always is trying to go for the maximum fucked up thing imaginable. At the cost of like, at a certain point, I just don't take it seriously anymore.
Right.
It's like, okay,
like I get it. Yeah. It's like too heightened.
Yeah.
I do think it's like there's that guy who's like the evil guy, Yuka Kazami is what it says on the wiki, who has like the fucked up yaoi relationship with his classmate that he kills.
Okay, that guy's crazy because he's so like Nathan Drake coded. Do you know what I mean? He's
like literally. Well, he's like Yuka. There's that part where he's like the one who could lift the cabinets that are like fallen over, and then Yuka's like, "Whoa, like you're strong," right?
Yeah, like
crush on your babysitter type thing, and then he's like the most evil teenager that ever lived.
Yes.
The thing that I thought was so insane was that like part where he starts to call Yuka, the younger girl who's the like main boy's younger sister who needs to pee. He like starts calling her little sister and being super creepy, and then like electric guitar starts ripping. Like it's so crazy.
They also do that in that scene where they reveal who the killer actually is.
Yeah! Oh my god.
This is insane.
It's so wild. I guess.
Oh my gosh.
The thing I'll say. Whoa.
Sorry, I'm copy pasting some CGs in here.
Oh my god. I'm glad I didn't play this version of the game because
you didn't want this like art of them in the beds next to each other.
I mean, I don't know. There's something so like 2020s anime about the way they look in this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like very much prefer the sprites and art style of the original, I think.
There is an anime of this, and Amr told me it was not good. But,
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
What was the... Oh, so I think the thing that really sinks this for me... Or, I mean, I think I like this overall. I think its biggest problem, kind of besides the, like, hyper edgy, like, tonal stuff that you're talking about, is just that, like, every character is kind of one note, right? And also, it's not like you get multiple one-note characters having, like, different dynamics with each other, right? It's like you kind of get each little party that you're with has kind of the same basic dynamic, right? Where it's like freaked out, hysterical girl is helped by guy who is like either kindly and put together or aloof and bratty, but kindly and put together, right? Like, it just feels like you get to see the characters like experience kind of the same things over and over again. And like, it just doesn't have this sort of, because I think you can like arrange a cast of kind of cliche characters in such a way where like the drama really sings. And it just doesn't have that kind of juice to it, right? Like no one is really like compelling or grounded enough to like make it elevated beyond the sort of like kind of bare bones tropey like premise that it's operating from, right? And because it's also like you get the sort of opening sequence where they're together in like a relatively normal situation. And then like the rest of the game is just like the most fucked up shit happening to them. Right. And so it's like I feel like you kind of don't get like time to see them like develop or move together. It's just these like very kind of big dramatic things happening a lot. Right.
Yeah. And the game does try to kind of fix this by having those extra chapters that you can unlock.
Right.
That are both like centered around like entirely separate characters that have come through the school at various points.
Right.
And there is a few that's like slice of life stuff with the characters and stuff like that.
Right. Which, yeah, I guess in fairness, like I didn't play those at all. I unlocked like a couple of them. But
I played a couple of them. They seem fine, but not something.
Sure.
And maybe they seemed like short enough, so maybe I'll just.
Yeah.
This is the image I was thinking of when I was talking about.
Oh my god.
The sexualization of the children in this
like
game.
panty shot while she's like having a meltdown is kind of crazy.
It's wild. Why?
Yeah.
Why do this?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess like to be maximally charitable, it is like a body, you know, it's like it's about these characters like is also like multiple characters are in love with Naomi. Right. It's like the heightened nature of the situation is both one of like sex and violence. Right. Like that's part of the thing of it, I guess. It just like it's just not interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like has this objectifying quality, but it's not like erotic, really. It's just sort of like, yeah, this is like the thing that I'm supposed to do in this sort of setting. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like you don't need to do that. You just don't have to. You know? Yeah. I think that's also like I don't want to like moralize about this like super strongly. I do think some of the stuff with Yuka is just a little weird. Like there's that scene where she comes in and bites her older brother on the arm. When they're like back at home, you sort of get that. You get these flashbacks of like them and their normal lives, right?
Would you believe me if I told you that there's a POV CG of that?
Yes, I did know this. Actually, I saw it on Steam because I was looking at like the community page to see like what are the CGs like, you know. So yeah. I was like, that's kind of crazy. But you know.
It's weird because like the stuff they do with Yuka could be interesting to me.
Yeah.
Or like that other the creepy guy with the sibling who is also just like very weird about his sister.
Oh yeah, because then he's like, oh, I am looking at her exploded guts. Is that what you're talking about? That's so crazy. Oh, I
wish there was more because like we never see him like reckon with that. He just like kind of goes crazy and then he like dies off screen.
Right. Yeah.
But this game is definitely also about incest in this weird because like the Nathan Drake guy like claims Yuka as like a sibling.
Yeah. And then it's
also while also intending to do harm on her.
Yes.
And just like while also just like chiding her and like poking fun of it at her at like not going to the bathroom. Because who cares? You're in a fucking death trap of a school. Just go.
Right. Well, there's like the things like it, like she opens the like door to the bathroom and there's like a big gaping hole in front of all the stalls. She can't go in the stall. right?
Yeah.
But it's like, I also understand, like, I think there is something like very real about being a child, or at least in my experience, where it's like, but I'm supposed to go in the stall, right?
Yep.
Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's like almost the denial of that is like a denial of like the, like, my humanity and my like the normalcy of the situation, right? And that, like, being like, there is something that's like deeply horrifying about that place, you know,
like just like coming to the realization that like the space that you're in, like the people who are in charge of it do not believe you're worthy of like a dignified life.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. Like the simple dignity of being able to shit in peace. Right. Yeah. And there was something like, I do think like despite kind of the edginess of it that we're talking about, I think there is just some horror stuff that really hits. And I also do think the, like, I found, like, again, we've talked about some of the weird, like, sexual politics of this stuff. I think the fact that this place comes from a rape, right? There is something that is resonant about the way that stuff just like it is this literal wound in the world that just like sinks everyone into it, right? And that's like, you know, I'm not trying to be like Andrea Dworkin out here, but it's like there is this normalcy to sexual assault, right? Like it is omnipresent in everything, and that is this thing that like wounds and hurts people and like pulls them into these like cycles of violence and terror, right? In like multiple kinds of ways. And so like I did find it moving that was like the heart of the thing, right? You know, and it's like, I don't know, it is kind of weird just because there is sort of a like the dimension continues to exist, so there can be a sequel. You know, I guess. And there is like a I don't know. I'm not trying to fault the political imagination of Corpse Party, but there is something that feels a little cheap, I guess, about there's like not really resolution to that. It just like the place continues to exist. It like they like heal Asajiko and like free her from her prison that she's created. And then like the place invents another one to like maintain itself. Right. And it just feels like, yeah, I guess. I guess it would do that. But like you're making the rules up, right? So I don't know. You know.
And you're getting back to what I was saying about Yuka, like the game is definitely interested in not just like you mentioned about, you know, sexual assault, but also like having like older siblings in your lives that you're supposed to look up to, and having them just completely fail at being a caretaker, and also also having this perversion towards like their perversion towards women extends to their siblings, and this ownership over someone. And I don't know. I could have used a little bit more of that. Yeah. Just because it just felt like it was dropped in chapter 5 completely.
It kind of is.
You like listen to like whatever the guy's name, like the guts guy screaming on the phone, and he's like implied to be dead. But you don't really, again, there's no like moment up. There is like a moment of confrontation where he realizes what he's looking at when he's looking at this like the like guts of this like random kid who turns out to be his sister. But there's no like moment after that. It's just like, all right, that's the end of the arc, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think that is kind of the thing, is the like the themes are so hefty, and it's like it's gross and it's felt, and it's also thin. You know, there just isn't a lot there, I think.
Yeah.
And that like, and I think that's also part of what like, I don't know, I've been thinking about and talking about this with people lately, that like the thing things that are really good don't get fan works in the same way as things that are bad, or things that are like kind of basic or sort of flawed, and that you can like, well, what if it was about this, or what if I corrected it in this way, or what if I like rearranged it, right? Like that's like the engine of like fan engagement to some degree, right? Is like that's why people like Star Wars so much to some degree, is that it's like kind of bad, but like in this way that's like very fascinating, and that like draws you into it and like invites you to play in its world, right? Like how many people have like tried to rewrite the prequels to be good, or like that's kind of what Clone Wars is, right? It's like, you know, there are all these things that are like engagements with the text that are about like rearranging it and trying to like make it the good bits and not the bad bits. And so it's like, it makes like Corpse Party is like a thing that feels like an engine of that, right? Like it could very much just be like, it just makes sense to me why this game has like a big fan following. Like it's the exact kind of primed thing to do that, right? If that makes sense.
For sure. And then Satoshi is like supposed to be this main character who like is like the good guy, is like the good version of all the other bigger brothers that are shitty.
Yeah.
You know? Who's like trying to put on a strong face for Yuka. And he's the one that is able to traverse like the different openings and closings of the parts of the building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like, I was just thinking about when you were talking about that like negligence and the sort of violence of like misogyny extending like also to like the people in your immediate family, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the thing where like Yuka tries to go pee on the like covered walkway between the two buildings and then comes back and he's gone? Or is it like anyway. And it's like, it's not his fault, right? Like he's like kidnapped or possessed or whatever, like something bad happens and he like gets zipped away. But it's like, there is just that thing of like, Yuka's only protection and only power in the world is her connection to this older boy who can take care of her. And then when that's gone, there's like this proximity then to like other older boys who are trying to hurt her. Right. And that's like, it's just a scary thing, you know?
Yeah. And there's something to be said about the like, I didn't go for all of the bad ends, so I don't know what happens when Nathan Drake guy captures Yuka.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I did not go for that.
But when the other guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry. He's got purple hair. He's got glasses.
Oh, yeah. Mori Shigi? Sakutaro? Yeah.
When he chases you, it's like he just has a line of dialogue that says, "Why are you running from me?"
Right, yeah.
Because like I feel like that's an implicit admission that like when the bad guys are out to hurt you, it's like we can depict that. We can give you like a paragraph of like, here's this guy gonna kill you.
Right.
But like this person who's in your friend group who is like clearly unwell and is being weird towards you, to depict whatever he would do to you is more horrifying.
Right.
It's more like inappropriate to depict than the millions of other ways this game inflicts torture onto Yuka if you do a bad end.
Right, yeah. Well, I think that's like the thing is like, I think the most potent horrors of this game are kind of mundane. Like even the Naomi, because I do think it's like her being possessed into killing her to like, you know, pulling the bucket under her feet so she hangs herself, right? Is like like, it is just the thing that's more horrifying and that's more resonant is that, like, she says something shitty to her and then can never talk to her again. Yep. Right? Like, that is, like, the thing that, like, kind of hits. And then, like, having there be this additional twist of the knife, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's just too much, right? Like, it just doesn't. Yeah. It's like you get emotionally overloaded, right? It's just the thing of, like, yeah, because that's, like, that happens all the time, right? Where it's like you have an argument with someone and then that's the last time you talk to them. You know, it's like the fucking origin story of Spider-Man. Right? Mm-hmm. He's like mean to Uncle Ben and then Uncle Ben gets shot and that's it, you know, and you can never talk to him again. Right. Mm-hmm. And never like make that right. And like if he had lived, it would have been possible too, of course. Right. But that is locked off forever, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think that's the thing is it's like, I think there's a lot of things that this game is actually like quite successful at conjuring. And like, it is scary and horrifying and like does work as like a series of escalating gross outs, right? Like it is effective at that stuff, right? And it also just like doesn't quite get there, I think. I don't know. Have you heard about 100 Line at all? Have you played this at all?
No.
This is like the project. I'm forgetting what their names are, but it's like the 999 guy and the Danganronpa guy doing a game together. Okay. Yeah. And it's like the premise is basically like a bunch of teenagers lived in this like domed Tokyo. They all get like whisked away to this like post-apocalyptic wasteland with these schools in the middle of it, and they're like doomed to like battle against these like endless waves of creatures that are like descending upon the schools every day. And so it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit Danganronpa in that it's like a bunch of teenagers like trapped in a place and there's like someone telling them to do shit, right? And stuff. I think I have not played that much of it, and I have some friends who are like huge fans of it. And then basically the other gimmick is that it's like this, it's called 100 Line because there's literally 100 different routes. And so it's like this super expansive webbed visual novel thing, and then also has like a pretty solid like tactics game built onto it. But I think one of the things that game does really well for a lot of it is that every character you meet in that game, you think you have a beat on, right? It's like, oh, like this character is like this, you know, anime cliche, right? And then it's like the moment that you have like a fuller interaction with them, there is this thing of like, oh, there's something about this person that is deep and cavernous and that I do not understand. Right? And like that is such a cool thing to build a game like this around, is that like, I mean, it's almost Breakfast Clubby, right? In premise. I'm not saying like, I haven't actually even seen that movie, but that it's like everyone has this way that they're presenting. Right. And then there's this other thing that is who they really are. And that's like a whole different question. Right. And I think that's like that the engine, that is such a like element that's missing from this. I feel that there's like, you understand who basically every one of the characters are who gets sucked into the dimension, like in that first sequence. And there is basically nothing that changes your impression of them throughout the next 10 hours. Right. And it's like, this is the kind of thing that these stories are about, I think, is like survival, the need to survive, like changing you and shaping you, right? And that being this like terrifying, uncontrollable thing. And there just isn't like, there's too few, I think, of these moments where that there's like psychological depth and complexity to the characters, basically. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. True.
Oh. Did you get the bad ending with Yuka with the eye girl?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's the grossest shit I've ever read in a video game.
Yeah. And like, I didn't get, no, the thing that weirdly the bad end that really got me. Did you do the one in chat? This was the one I texted you about. I didn't answer because I was embarrassed that I hadn't played that much of the game.
Okay.
but it's the one with like, you do the levers that like make the part of the gate go wide, or it's like I don't remember, it like opens a door or it like changes the flooring such that you can get to a new area of the school. But it's like if you do it while like this is Yoshiki and Ayumi, if you do it like while Ayumi's like possessed and in the other room, then she'll like come out and the like wires that are like connecting the different parts of the room like slice her apart, right?
Damn.
And then when you like come out as Yoshiki, you like see her body and you're like, what happened? And then it happens to you. And it's like that like got me in a way that's like because it is just like literally you walk into your room and like some fucked up thing happens to you for no reason at all. Right? You know? But yeah, no, there's
I do kind of like the idea of like the like memos where like if you read all of them, like the same thing happens to you.
Yeah. I like that too.
I do like that. Yeah. But then they're always surprised that it's happening to them. They're just like, whoa! I can't believe I'm eating my friend after reading all these notes about this guy eating his friend.
Yeah. Oh my god. The thing about like that with that one where it's like he's carrying the eyeball in his pocket and then he like forgets what it is and squishes it or whatever. That's like, yeah, it's Stephen King go for the gross out, to quote. Just keep things,
100%.
like quite literally.
No, the game will describe the girl putting the scissors into the eye in very gross detail.
Yeah. Ugh.
I read that after I ate lunch. It was bad.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what other one. Yeah, I don't know. All of the ones where. Okay, man, what was I thinking of? It's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's gone. The bad ends are a lot.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, and I didn't.
Oh wait, okay. This isn't a bad end. But one thing I did want to shout out. And this is like a perfect summation of like the attitude this game has about just like hope and like despair. Not to talk about Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Not to conjure that. But like you go into this room, right? And it is where one of those like devices where you like switch out the floors is. But like it's this like very sweet like message from like this couple.
I think I know exactly what you're going to talk about. Yeah,
and it's just like very sweet and just like, you know, we're in this shitty situation, but you know, at least we're gonna die together and we'll be like in the afterlife just like together with all our friends. And it's like, and they're like, you see like the two skeletons on the floor next to each other as you're reading all this. And then there's just a note on the wall that's like, these silly fucking idiots, they don't know you can't get to heaven from here or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
God. Yeah. Well, because it's like they're all assholes in here. You know, this is the play. This is the asshole dimension that turns you into a jerk. Right.
Yeah.
Oh. God, there's that part
probably
with
my favorite of all the like environmental storytelling. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, there's like the part with the homeroom teacher, which she gets trapped under the cabinet. And the like spirit's like, you don't even care about kids. You only care about yourself. I was like, whoa.
My favorite one of those is when you go into the stall, the men's stall, and then the ghost just goes, close the door! And it just pushes the kid out.
It's like the reverse of the hand coming out of the toilet in Majora's Mask.
Yeah. It's so silly.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well.
Also, and I also posted this on Blue Sky, but like that actually, you didn't play with CGs on. So I do have to show you this also.
Okay,
Hold
please.
on. It's because there's like multiple times where like you come across like bodies and the game will have rendered a CG for it.
Right.
And sometimes the fact that the game didn't originally have a CGs comes up. And it's just very funny. Here is my favorite.
Okay.
Where it's just the shot of this girl completely 100% dead, and
It's like
she's not breathing.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, really? You don't say. Oh. Well, do we want to get to emails? Have you got lingering thoughts?
No, that's pretty much it. Oh, I do have to say, so the PSP version is very similar to the PC version you played, but it has the CGs, but you can't skip text quickly.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
They left that out of the PSP version. Why? Who can say?
Like, you told me this, and it was like, I think I played just like a little bit of it and hadn't done like, because there's like 2 wrong ends in the first, chapter. And like one of them is kind of tricky to get. And so it was like, I just didn't. And then I was like playing chapter 2 and 3 and like going back a little bit and getting wrong ends. And I was like, this would be such a nightmare if you could skip things.
And then like so you can do temp saves is what the game calls it, where you can save at anywhere in the game, but it bumps you out to the main menu, and then when you load it, it is deleted.
Yes, yeah.
So PSP version also has that. And then the 3DS version lets you skip text quickly, though you still have to listen to like sound effects and stuff. So like if you're doing a bad end, or like if you die and you're watching a bad end again, you still have to wait for the events to trigger.
Oh my god, yeah.
Before the text skips, which is super annoying. Also the game, so like Corpse Party is, I guess, pretty well known for like having interesting sound design. It uses like surround sound in an interesting way, and that's also in the PSP version, which is pretty wild. Not in the 3DS version, however. So no surround sound for that, just a simple stereo output, no special audio things going on there.
Wow.
And then the Switch version, the sprites are new, so redrawn sprites, which I actually do like how they look, so whatever. So it's rebuilt in Unity, and they made it so you cannot scale the size of the screen. So it's always at 1x integer scaling with a fat border around it that shows you like your characters, how much health you have, which literally does not matter. And almost the entire game, how much health you have.
Yeah, there's like one very specific section where it matters a little bit.
Yeah. So it has that. Also, the sound is a little bit broken. When the main ghost shows up, it is part of that sound cue is like a beeping in the background. But for whatever reason on the modern versions, that is just turned up so fucking loud that it just drowns everything else out, and it's very distracting. The only time where this effect really worked is that last scene where she shows up, and that sound is blaring as like everything is happening at once, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was very distracting. Also, and this feels like a bug. Whenever you get a wrong end, it doesn't play the wrong end cutscene. It just lingers on a black screen for the amount of time the wrong end cutscene will be playing until it kicks you out into the menu again.
You don't get the little da 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 or whatever it is. Yeah.
However, you can save state and load freely the save state whenever.
Right.
You're limited to just like one save per chapter. But if you want to go for one specific ending, you can do that very easily, and I do appreciate that. And also the skip, it skips everything, so like everything is super fast. You don't have to wait for animations or sound effects. It just goes, and that part's sick. So
yeah,
no perfect version of this game.
Yeah, well, I think that's also like something that is interesting, that like it is something that has been through so many mechanisms of iteration, and it's like not really super possible for an English speaker to play the original version of this, and like that's like an interesting like element of it almost, that there's like so many interpretations, and then that's also layered with this weird thing because video games are also like software. And they're like and there's questions of like efficiency and convenience that like play into it. For what it's worth, like I didn't like miss not having CGs in the version I played. I thought it was kind of effective in a weird way, that it's like the screen is just black and then stuff is being described to you, right?
Yeah.
Like I think there's something that is like, it's scary. It's scary not getting incomplete information is scary, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought that worked well. And the skip function I think it does also skip sound effects. It's like a little slower on them, but so it was not. The thing is, you only have like 3 save slots per thing. And I found that like with most chapters, like you can get through and not have to like reload the whole chapter to get all the bad ends, if you're like looking to do that and checking a guide. But like chapter 5 is like super long. And some of those bad ends are like very complicated to get. There's like alternate endings and, there's just like a bunch of things. And so it's like, you would not be able to avoid having to replay the whole thing for that. And that's, I think that's like part of the deal. I think if you're like at the point where you're like, I want to see every star on the start screen light up because I got every wrong end, it's like you're a sicko already. Right. But yeah, it is like, it is what it is.
All right. Questions.
Mm-hmm.
This first one is from Aiden, who says, I played the PSP version of Corpse Party ages ago and recall getting stressed out early on when I bumped into a ghost a few times and died, losing a fair amount of progress. On my next try, I still bumped into the ghost and survived with low HP. That had me worried, but if I recall correctly, that early bit was the only time that the HP stat ever came into play. That's incorrect. There are little green guys on the ground in one of the chapters that slowly suck away at your HP.
Oh, well, that's also one of the wrong ends. It's just like, you just keel over and die. Which is fun.
Can you think of any other games that present a firstly standard mechanic that ends up being almost entirely superfluous? Which game without health points should have health points that matter in just one scenario?
Oh, that's a good question. I do feel like this is a pretty common thing in RPG Maker games generally, that it's like you'll have the screen where there's HP and it never comes up, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like a game like Pentiment, you could. This kind of happens in Disco Elysium, right? Where it's like you have the firefight. It's like you have the one moment of violence in there, right? That like the game is kind of structured around. Or not one moment of violence, but like one moment of like combat, right?
Yeah.
but like something where it's like you're in a duel and you gotta, and you could die in there. That sounds fun to me. Right.
Yeah.
I also kind of like the idea of a game having a like, I don't know. One of the things that's kind of like interesting, I mean, that's just kind of weird about games that are about guns is that like any game where you're shooting weapons and you're like in a combat situation, you are like killing more people than a human being could probably feasibly kill. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think they're like, it would be kind of interesting to do like an OK Corral kind of game where it's like there is, and this is again kind of Disco Elysium me, but it's like there's one firefight and the game is just like surrounding that event and like trying to avoid it or play through it or whatever. And then you have like one moment to like get it right and accomplish the thing or not. Right. That's kind of like an interesting, I basically, I think that's like it would be interesting to have more games that play with sort of like a life and death stake situation that is not constant and mundane, but like singular and extraordinary. Right.
Yeah. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I will move on to the next question.
Okay. Go ahead.
This is from Jack. I have not played Corpse Party, but I am immensely familiar with it because of a particular line from one of the releases. I'm going to go butter up my pooper.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is there a horror game you are familiar with strictly through a single screenshot, line of dialogue, or some other type out of context presentation?
I will say I brought up 100 Line earlier, which I have played some of. And really would like to get back to, and just stuff keeps getting in the way of it because it is also like a million years long. But like I was in this Discord server where a lot of my friends were playing it, and it's like they were like sharing fan art every day and shit. And so it's like I kind of know who all those characters are, like I like know things that sort of happen in this kind of ambient way because it's like a bunch of my friends are into it. And the same for some of the like Danganronpa characters where it's like I sort of know what that guy's deal is because, because they react to, like, when I say something, they'll react to the little Hope Despair Bear or whatever it is in Danganronpa. And I'm like, okay, like, I know what this guy's deal is, I guess. I should butter on my pooper is so crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah. This kind of reveals the era of internet I was in, and also, sorry, I just noted the subject line is the butter emoji. But but like I have this, but for the various ways in which a piece of media is problematic.
Oh, right.
So like I don't know shit about Mother 3 other than it has transphobia in it.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
And there's like the rhythm mechanics of it, or like the timing mechanics. That's all I fucking know about Mother 3. I don't know what the fuck that game is about.
Right. Oh my God. I will say I have like dear friends who are married and met because of Mother 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
well,
there you go.
I know of at least one Redditor who has a girlfriend because of the Obama soda meme.
Right. Yeah. What about Scrappy Doo in the lobster costume? Like, what about that one?
That one, I'm thinking of that image of the girl looking down at her cell phone in bed.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God.
With the legs up.
Yeah. Or like that one where it's like the little, I don't know what anime it's from, where she's like looking at her phone and then like kicking her legs on the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of stuff where like I've seen individual screenshots. I feel like this would happen to me with like Ace Attorney sometimes, where it's like, but I can't think of like a specific line that people would quote from it.
Objection.
I mean, yeah, but like there's like another thing, you know. There's like the guy who has the weird mask. Who's like the prosecutor in number 2, I think. Anyway. And then, I mean, I did play Undertale, but there's the like, you know, despite everything, it's still you thing that gets shared around so much, right? I'm sure if I hadn't played it, I would still be familiar with that. You know, that's so, I can't get over butter on my pooper. And it's like, it doesn't matter. She just like has ointment and like goes into the bathroom and then comes back. Like, it's like plot, like it just, nothing happens. She just has to say that for some reason. She is very like lol rar girl, I guess. But I think that is like a localization quirk more than anything.
Yeah, it's so insufferable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just forget about everything that's ever existed every time we do an email.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Like I will think of something, but not now.
Yeah.
So this next one is from Jen. I've tried playing through this game multiple times over the past few years. Each time I get to a new scene of the authors getting way too into I don't know what this word is. Do you know what this word is? Let me send you this word.
Mm-hmm.
What is that word?
Oh, scatological. It's like poop related, bathroom related.
Ah.
Yeah. Like scat is like animal feces. Like, yeah. So
I see. So I thought it was about the ska.
Oh, scatological. Well, of course. Yeah.
And then I lose my motivation to keep playing shortly afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the game scares are unsettling enough that I still return later. My curiosity compelling me to seek out the other tricks it has up its sleeves. Do you have a game or book in particular that you've repeatedly started with the intention of finishing, only for some piece of it to forcefully push you away? And if so, what compels you to keep coming back?
I feel like I have had this, and I'm struggling to think of like what it has been. I feel like this sometimes happens with. Actually, the thing that's like this with for me is Pink Floyd's The Wall. Which is maybe a weird thing to say. But like, I think like when I think about that and what it's about and like think about the like it being the story about like the lingering effects of like fascism on England and like the loss of World War II and the way that like echoes across like modern life and like all this stuff. It's like, wow, that's like so moving and powerful and like feels like this like tremendous confrontation with something that is like so difficult and normalized to like see. And then I like listen to the album and it's like so sexist. I just can't fucking hang. You know? Like I can't like, and like it, there's like stuff about it I find really moving and like there are things, you know, that hit for me. And I think it's almost like the sort of like, I feel like I can gather pieces of a bunch of Roger Waters songs and it's like, that's like the thing that I want. But it's like The Wall, each individual portion is like not the thing, right? Almost. I don't know if that's like a good answer, but it is like I do occasionally have the thing like, you know, maybe I'll like it more this time, and then I listen to it and I'm like, nope, like I just don't.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like the thing that comes into mind isn't really the same thing, but it's like I loaded up a ROM of the GBA version of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah.
And have you played Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. I've played all of them or most of them.
The Traverse Town theme in the GBA version sounds like fucking shit.
Oh yeah, it does. It is bad.
And I'm like, And I'm genuinely wanting to play Chain of Memories because I played it as a kid, but like didn't really get it at like the combat system.
Right.
And so I'm like playing it and trying to get into the combat, and it is like pretty good in that they were able to emulate some form of the Kingdom Hearts combat onto a GBA. But then I listened to the fucking depressing horn they put on the Traverse Town theme on the fucking GBA, and it makes me want to die. What, you want me to listen to that over and over again?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's crazy how many of those portable Kingdom Hearts games especially are just like, what if we revisited Kingdom Hearts 1 again?
Yeah.
That's what like coded and recoded are. Right? Yeah.
And the art in that game is so good too. The pixel art. Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, that's very true.
But it sounds like ass. And you can't fix it.
Yeah.
It's a GBA.
Oh my god. That's so crazy. But yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, I've definitely like started books. Also Gundam this has happened. Like I've tried to get through the first Gundam multiple times. But the thing is, there's not really like a thing that stops me. I just like don't watch it. It's not like I always like enjoy it and getting something out of it, and then I just like fall off of it. And I would like to I want to watch that and Ideon, and I've never fucking seen Evangelion, and so I want to do it.
I did have this with Evangelion. The first episode where Asuka shows up is a normal person filter because it is so fucking gross.
Right.
The way they sexualize Asuka off rip. And I just didn't watch the show for like 2 years after that.
Yeah. It's like there's this is a little bit deranged. You're about to get a little Mormon lore. But so there's a part early in the Book of Mormon where the Book of Mormon presupposes that there was a group of Jews in Jerusalem at like 600 BC who fled the city and like sailed from the Arabian Peninsula to the Americas. So there's a part where like the family has like moved out of the city and they're like hanging out in the desert and like starting to make their way like down, through Arabia. But like God keeps like being like, okay, well actually you need to go back to Jerusalem and like go get this, right? And so one of them is like, you need to go and get the Torah, basically. You need to go get the scriptures, right? This rich guy has some, and and so they like go and they try to like buy them off of him and stuff, and nothing works. And so eventually the like main character basically is like, okay, I'll go in and I'll like see, like I'll trust in God that like God will provide the situation for me to like obtain the plates of brass, the scriptures, right? And bring them back to camp, right? And so he goes in and like he like sneaks into the courtyard and finds like the rich guy's body, like he's drunk and passed out on the floor and is like wearing his armor and a sword, and an angel shows up and is like, yo, kill that guy. And that's like the filter. It's like if you can't hang with Nephi like killing this like totally helpless rich guy, then you won't be able to be Mormon,
Yeah.
So
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is from Tube. When I briefly was in a corpse party years ago, I remember feeling torn between the stuff I liked about the game and the truly staggering amount of uncomfortable fetish content both in the game and around the game and its adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
How do you as critics work to unpack something that you may find uncomfortable to deeply unpleasant like that when you talk through and analyze games, not just for Corpse Party, but for any art? What does that process look like?
That's a big question. Not a welcome one, to be clear. Just like, I mean, I think part of it is that I I have been like thinking a lot recently about the like stakes of art and like what it does when something is like rendered badly or rendered improperly, or even just like rendered in a way that you personally disagree with, right, or find uncomfortable, right? And I think, I guess for me, often the stakes of that are kind of low, right? Like, I think someone, generally speaking, like someone being uncomfortable with a piece of art or the way a piece of art depicts something is like relatively low stakes and like certainly not like uncomfortable rather than harmful, right? And so I think part of it is like being willing to kind of wade into those feelings with some curiosity about what something is doing, and to not have like a knee-jerk reaction based on sort of the like content, you know. I feel like I've been reading some criticism lately where it'll like read a character doing a fucked up evil thing and then kind of like turn to camera and be like, wasn't that evil and fucked up? Like, yeah. Why would you put that in a book? And I think that that's like a really weird way of thinking about this kind of stuff. And so I don't know. It is like weird to say. And obviously, like, you know, people get triggered by these kinds of things, right? And I think that's valid. And I think in my experience, when that's happened to me, it has related way more to like where I was in my life at the time than like whether the work of art was doing something poorly or not, right? And so I think it's like maintaining this kind of openness to what is happening and like, I think, sincere interest in like the kind of material conditions of what surrounds it, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and I think also, like, I do think that, like, art that deals with this kind of stuff, like, can and should exist. And I don't think it's necessarily, like, harmful for it to exist, even if I'm like, it is weird that you are doing the panty shot while she's having a panic attack, right? Like, that's weird, you know? And I don't think that, like, it is at worst like a symptom of like a broader problem of sexism. You know, it is not doing a sexism to me in a certain sense, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have, that's like very broad thoughts. I don't know if you have like a different perspective here.
Yeah, a couple things. For me, like when I read criticism, the best criticism is always something that is able to express what I'm feeling in a way that I didn't have the tools to do myself.
Yeah.
Dia's work does a lot of that for me. And so I think part of that is just like being mindful of like what is offensive to you personally versus what does this mean in the context of the bigger picture of the thing. And really like, and not even so much a compartmentalization of those things, but more an acknowledgement of how those things make you feel, but also like factoring what is being depicted into like this broader culture of what the thing exists in. So for example, like one of I joked with Grace before we started, like the people online who seem very into Corpus Party seem like very unwell people, and that is because like any like video I've seen, like there is like literally one YouTube short comparison video for the different versions of the game, and off rip the guy calls Japan the land of the rising sun. I cannot trust a word you say after that.
What?
So, yeah. And then like another example is like I saw this like Reddit thread of like one of the main characters like who like hang themselves. And like one version of the game didn't have a sliver of piss coming down her leg. And this Reddit guy was just like, why is this version different than this version? Why isn't the pee there?
Oh
The
my
manga makes
God.
it very clear that she pisses herself as she's dying. And it's like, why do you care? What benefit is this to you? Like,
Whoa.
and so like for me, like it is very much about the way the way that games and other media can depict topics that like breed a culture of fans or like contribute to a culture of fans that is like I feel like is actively harmful to the world. And just like being able to recognize that and also just sit with that and taking that into consideration as you're engaging with something is also like a part of it as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's so wild. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is exactly relevant. And like, I also feel like I might be relying on kind of a skewed picture of how this discourse like played out. But I feel like, you know, in 2020, there was this rush. I mean, as there was for a lot of things, like, you know, to like read Black literature, right? And like Toni Morrison was a huge part of that. And sort of the pitch that people were giving was essentially like, you know, literature is this means of like understanding human experience, right? Or like understanding the like quote unquote the Black experience, right? And I think that's something that is like a little bit weird to say about Morrison's work, just because like a lot of it has to do with characters who are like, you know, Black and on the outs of the communities that they are within, right? Like Beloved is about this woman who murdered her child, right? And none of the other Black people in the town want to be with her, like, or her friend or anything, because this happened, right? And like, I think that there's something, like the reason that book is so powerful is it is about a person, because she is Black and because she killed her own baby, right? Is like the, you know, the kind of person that the world would write off as inhuman, right? And the process of the book is revealing how deeply compassionate and human she is, and like flawed and like all these other things, right? Like it is, there's a really like frightening and difficult moral question at the heart of that book, right? And like, I think that there's something really powerful and valuable, I think, to looking at something that someone would be like, this is wrong, and trying to figure out what is going on, right? And obviously, like, Morrison is like a very particular kind of relationship to doing that, right? And it's not really related to Corpse Party, and I don't want to make that comparison, right? I just think that there is something like valuable in these kinds of explorations, and I think that like one of the ways where Corpse Party fails in some ways is that it kind of can't have human beings, right? And I think that's part of what makes the sort of more like sexual elements of it feel sort of egregious, right? Is that there's not like, it's not playful. It feels like it is kind of exploitative in like a broad sense, right? And so I don't know. I just think there's like, you know, the question of like how this stuff works is like really complicated. I think bringing fan culture into it was like a smart thing to do, and was something I don't tend to think about, just because it's like, I don't care what people say about something, you know, and I don't feel like it's necessarily accurate to like what the thing is. And I do think that like what you're talking about is like a real dynamic, right? Like that there is this relationship, and one that is like increasingly like legible, you know, to like online fan communities, where there is this like immediate sort of call and response, this necessity to like unpick, and not in like a critical way, but sort of in like a like, I don't know, it's all content to me kind of way, right?
Yeah.
And I think that has like, yeah, and the way that literally becomes this like scene of suicide is then this like thing that is lacking a key detail, right? And there's like not really any consideration for like what that thing is in context, right? It is almost divorced from the situation that it's in, right? That's like bad, right? And I think it also like reflects a like, there's a lack of engagement with the thing kind of inherent to that. And in some ways that the like the economic process that Corpse Party exists in like encourages and facilitates, right?
I mean, yeah, same thing with like Doki Doki Literature Club. Like when I covered that for my old podcast, Fireside Friends, we saw like somebody do a Christmas ornament of a character who hangs themselves in that game.
Oh, whoa.
Like it is like ridiculous. And I don't necessarily think like that needs to be a part of your criticism, but I do think it's worth asking yourself, what is it about this particular work that invites people to engage with it in this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's also a part of me that is like, there's a part of me that also wants to be the person that's like, oh, separate your feelings from how you read the art. But I just feel like that is such a false idea.
You can't really do that.
That's, you can't do that. That's like, there is no like
I think
objective
it's like,
way to read something.
Right.
Know?
I think there's like a thing. I think the thing specifically what I was thinking about, like when you are triggered with something, I think there is like, there's like I think there's an analytical process worth having that is like, what is happening? You know, what am I responding to? Right.
Yep.
And I don't think that's like the same thing as like it being close to the bone for you is like something that can be like valuable as like, you know, it's not that someone who like doesn't have that reaction understands the work better, you know. It's just that reaction doesn't necessarily tell you the truth about it. That's like you know, those are like very distinct things, I think.
Yeah.
And I do think that like part of the critical process is like trusting your instincts and like reflecting on them rather than dismissing them or trying to be objective about them. Right. It's like everything is conversational. You are a part of the conversation, and it's like aware of the strength that your own voice has in relationship to the other voices in the room, right? And like, you know, there's plenty of like good criticism that misses things or that is incomplete or that like I disagree with, right? And that like has a strong central perspective and is well argued, right? I think part of it maybe is just about like letting go of that fear of being wrong and trying to have the courage to say something true, right?
And part of that is also, and a huge part of like, you know, our podcast and also like abnormal mapping and like any like game club podcast that like is earnestly about engaging with these older works is just like throwing out every preconceived narrative about a game that you've heard of.
Yes.
And just experiencing it for yourself. I mean, that was the Flower, Sun, and Rain thing. It's like I'd heard a billion times over that, you know, that game hated to play or whatever. And I just played it, and it was like the most delightful game I've ever played.
Right. Yeah.
And so just like getting rid of that. And I also like had this, you know, when I was younger, of just like people say this thing about this work, I have to feel that way about it too, or I have to see it, the narrative that people have built up around this thing, when I just don't need to do that.
Yeah, no, I think there's also something about, and I think this is something that's like really hard to do. I think particularly like, I think like, I don't know, online can just be very like canonical, and people can be very definitive about things. And I don't mean that in the sense of like, I guess what I mean is that like, if you were writing an essay about something like, and it's good, right? You have to like provide evidence for what you're arguing about. But if you're writing a fucking post, you can say whatever the fuck you want, right? And you don't have to back it up, and nobody gives a shit. Right. And so I think there is this like, sometimes there can be a lack of engagement, and sort of people can be very off the cuff saying things like, oh, well, if you like this, you're a moron or whatever. And I think part of being a critic in this environment, being an intellectually honest critic, is like trying to not let that noise get to you and like be present with the thing you are engaging with, right? And there's some degree of like, obviously, like a lot of good criticism is like in conversation with broader discourses, right? And like engages with conversations people are having, responds to specific essays. And I think that like, so it's not that you like have to close your ears to stuff, but it's that you like, I don't know, that you just like open yourself up to be curious, right? And I think that is like, and I think, yeah, it's also just worth recognizing where that is like difficult for you to do, right? And that's like fine. There's like that stuff. It's also like, yeah, like it's not moral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just like is. And so like coming to grips with both like what is this thing and what is it doing and like how am I reacting to it and how does that work, right? Part of it's like letting go of the like value judgment that you have with that, right? And I think also, like, particularly with horror, I guess I'll say, I mean, I don't think Corpse Party did not hit me this way. But, like, part of it is that it is fucked up, right? Like, that's what is resonant about it. I mean, this was something I read. I feel like I've talked about this book on the show or on our Found Footage, our Patreon movie show before, but it came from The Closet, which is, like, a collection of, like, queer writers doing horror, and there's so many of those essays that are like, you know, despite the way that this is problematic, like it really resonated with me, and I was like losing my mind every time because I was like, it's because it's problematic, like it's because it's like it's violating the taboo, it is doing something you're not supposed to do, right? And that's what makes it scary, and that's what makes it resonant, and that's like part of why horror, I think it's a bit silly to be like horror is inherently progressive or horror is inherently conservative. I think the thing that can be powerful about it is that it can like, it is about unpeeling the sort of layers of pleasantness around atrocity and like showing what is underneath, right? And like that can play in like ugly or beautiful ways. That can be a lot of different things, but it's just like the thing is that it is like doing something you're not supposed to see or that's not polite, right? And so I think there's also, you know, some like it's good to own that, right? It's good to look at something like that and be like, you know, like I am resonating with this because of the ways it is fucked up, right? I and like that, I think being honest with that is like really important as well, right? That like some of the ways like Corpse Party I think fails is also areas where it is the most like resonant, right? And so I think like trying to, you know, like holding space, I say, but like holding space for like the nuances of that experience, right? And especially the way that it like hits your body, right, is like good to do. And I think it is like, to me, it's kind of cowardly to be like, well, of course I know that it's fucked up, right? It's like, yeah, like it is, you know? And that's like, sometimes that's like good, right? Mm-hmm. Not always, obviously, but like sometimes it is, right?
All right. We have one more.
Okay.
This is from Traumatized. What video game genres would be cool or interesting to add horror to? I would love to see what a puzzle game would look like if you try to make it scary, for instance.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like horror crossover stuff. I wonder, could you do like a puzzle quest that's like horror themed? I'm sure you could. Transylvania, Curse of Strahd puzzle quest. Does that sound fun? I don't know. Because yeah, there's like horror adventure games. That was also like one of my thoughts. Like we want to play Phasmogoria sometime on here, maybe. Can we do Gabriel Knight? Would that be appropriate to do on this show at some point?
At some point,
yeah. Not that's not a promise. I'm just like thinking out loud. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the thing.
I'm just thinking of like a like edutainment game about Carl Jung. And you're just going through samsara every time.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh my god. Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing about horror games is that most of them are just creepy puzzle games.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They are kind of creepy puzzle games. It's true. The Witness is a horror game because it was made by Jonathan Blow.
Man, that legendary Jackson tweet.
I've forgotten this one, I think.
The Witness is very quiet, and that's why it's good. Jonathan Blow should learn from himself or whatever.
Right,
as
true.
he was like tweeting misogynist bullshit.
Oh my god, yeah.
At the time, and then like Jackson didn't even like tag him or anything, and Jonathan Blow blocked them.
Oh my god. Wow. Well, they were, because I know this was like Braid. They like replied to every forum thread that was about Braid and like had comments in every review. Like they were everywhere when that game came out.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's like part of Indie Game the Movie. That's like a beaten Indie Game the Movie that I remember. Ugh.
You know what a beaten Indie Game the Movie is that I remember, but nobody else seems to?
Okay.
It is Ed McMullen. There's a picture of him as a child doing blackface. And nobody talks about this.
I feel like I do remember
this.
that. But like it's like a dark half memory.
It's like passed off as like, look at him as a child. He was doing goofy shit. The goofy shit is him putting it's him making his skin brown. Like, what's going on? Nobody talks about this. I'm like, oh, the eugenics guy. First of all, it's fucking called eugenics. The eugenics guy is in some controversy. No shit. It's fucking him. He's him. He's the guy.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, he's like a Newgrounds guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what people were expecting. Although it was funny when he was like, actually, never mind about it. Did you see this? That he was like defending that one guy who's in the game, and then like a day later was like, actually, I'm sorry I said that.
I have no idea. I didn't follow it. I just saw the list of names that were in that game.
Oh, yeah.
And it just looked so fake.
Yeah, it's so
because
funny.
It was also because it's like internet people who, of course, they're going to do it because, like, why not? But then it'd be like people in Hollywood who clearly just respond to too much.
Yeah.
And just they don't have the agent to be like, hey man, David Harbour, you're in Stranger Things. You're in the biggest show on earth. Do not lend your voice to a game called Eugenics. What are you doing? Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
I know you're going through something. But
right, because
like,
there's this whole Lily Allen shit or whatever.
It's what?
Oh, because don't worry about it. I don't want to talk about David Harbour celebrity drama, but like I don't know like what happened, but there's like a breakup album about him or something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. There's something, but like that doesn't mean you have to do eugenics.
Yeah, right.
You could just like go outside.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have fuck off money. I don't know why is he in eugenics? Alongside like Ethan and Gila Klein.
Right.
It's like, bro.
Oh. What's the NBA tweet? I forget. It was like, he don't have internet.
Yeah.
But like we know he has internet. You know?
We know.
We know.
God.
All right. Is that a wrap?
I think so. Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Wow. Gaming. What a rich and vibrant subculture.
Thanks to everybody who sent emails to make the podcast length double.
Yeah, literally.
And now I'm thinking about fucking Rivers Cuomo voicing an animal in this stupid game.
Oh, Rivers, I think I did know that. Or are they all just meowing? Is that all it is? Or do they just do different meows?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. That's because I guess you can be like, hey, can you send me a meow dot wave? Everyone's like, yeah, sure. Well, we're the safe room. You can go to spookygame.club to subscribe to our Patreon and get access to bonus podcasts like Found Footage, where we talk about movies. We're talking about Battle Royale pretty soon. Yeah. We also have Handheld Talk, which recently came back, which is about video games, and Closet Crit, which is about philosophy and reading things. That's good. There's some good stuff on there, I think. Rose, you got anything you would like to plug?
No.
Anything else?
MagFest is uploading panels. Actually, let me check. Maybe it's up. I just keep checking every hour of every day to see if my panel has been uploaded. But they have a million videos that are going up, and who knows when mine will be up. But I'll post about it whenever it's up. So just big things coming. Be on the lookout.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
For my panel eventually being uploaded to YouTube. You'll know about it if you follow me on Blue Sky at BluestRose430, or if you're on our Discord, which you can find a link to at spookygame.club. I will post about that whenever it drops.
Oh yeah, you can also send us questions at spookygame.club. So there you go. I don't know. I'm Grace. Grace Machine. .bluesky.social. I have a website called The Imaginary Engine Review. tier-review.com or tier-review.com. We're doing issue on 24 Killers, which is pretty cool. My piece on that should be coming out next week. And then we're doing a very special issue for April. So yeah, I'm excited about future things there. I'm also just writing stuff at GameSpot and The Wand Report and AV Club and other places. So that's what I'm up to, basically. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Fully to go back to talk about Corpse Party just a little bit before we log off.
Okay.
I liked the ending where like everybody who went into the hell portal and died is just like erased from existence, and the people, it's so fucking edgy that it's like the twist of the knife, right? But that scene where Naomi's like, she was a real person, and so she's like, yeah, she was, right? It's like sad. It kind of hits. You know, that they like survived but are like marked by this experience, like not only through their like trauma, but like also just the fact that they like are the people who have to keep the memories of these other people alive. Right. Something about that hit me.
I do agree with you, but also if she didn't exist in real life, how does she still have the text messages?
You know? I don't know.
I don't want to be all cinema sins, but like
maybe we got to play Book of Shadows to learn how that works.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, we got to learn how Mickey got his shirt off.
Oh my god. So true.